Hey, welcome back to Home Studio Pro. This time around, I'm here to introduce you to the HSP2 Headworn microphone by Sennheiser. What, you can't see it? Oh, because it's so small and sleek? There it is, the little boom. That's all it is. By the way, I'm also wearing in-ear monitors to listen to my audio. Those do not come as part of this HSP2, so that's a separate thing. But in terms of wearing these, yeah, it's very sleek. It's small, very low profile, comes in this nice kit here, a couple spare parts and pieces that you might need. This is a very interesting way to go on camera if you want good audio, you don't want to wear a lavalier mic, and you don't want the full headset. This is a head-worn microphone. This is a whole different class of microphone. Some big things to know about the HSP2. Obviously, I'm here to make this video. I want you to listen to this audio quality, see how I'm using it. You can decide if this is for you or not, but some big things to know. Number one, wearing this, completely lightweight, as lightweight as it gets. I mean, this is feather light. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything right now, even though I am. The HSP2, also very durable. I mean, you can look at this. It's so thin, and even around the ears and behind my neck, there's not much going on. It's a thin wire. It looks fragile, but is not fragile. By the way, all the parts are replaceable. You should know that going into this. How does it sound? Pretty good, to be quite honest with you. Better than a lavalier mic, in my opinion, because it's just closer to my mouth, the speaking source, rather than being somewhere on my clothes and maybe rustling with it and making noise from that. I like the frequency response of this HSP2 microphone from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. That's basically the same as a lot of studio microphones. So frequency response is good. Self noise, let me be quiet for a second. Maybe you can hear that. Self noise is a bit high, but that comes with the territory of a microphone like this. It does have an adjustable frame, so whether your neck is small or big or tall or wide or your ears are spaced out differently, you can adjust all of that here in the back on your neck as part of this microphone. It's got this extremely thin boom, which again is appreciated because on camera, if you're trying to hide it or minimize it and you don't want to make that a big deal, if that is your thing, obviously this helps to be hands-free when you make your videos. No microphone that you need to hold. A headset mic is always good for that, but a head-worn mic like this, it just cuts down on the profile of what you're actually seeing. This microphone has an omnidirectional pickup pattern. You should know that because if you're planning on taking this in a loud environment or situation, it's literally going to pick up sound from all different areas around you. It's not a directional mic. It's omnidirectional, multiple directions, meaning that it's not just aimed here at your voice and your mouth. It's going to pick up from all around, all areas. So it may not isolate your voice as great as possible if it is a loud type environment. For something like that, I would recommend an HMD26, which does have a hypercardioid pickup pattern on the boom microphone. Headsets have great benefits. Ooh, I should have said head-worns have great benefits. This is, again, a head-worn mic, not a headset mic. Let's be clear about that. These are so light, they're not fatiguing. I could honestly wear these all day. I mean, there's no issue around the ear, no pain. Comes off pretty easy. I mean, it's literally, oops, this here. You just put it right around your ear right there. Same thing on this side. Just goes right around the ear, almost like wearing glasses. It's just a little hook that goes right around both ears. Critical for on-camera stuff, right? I mean, these head-worn microphones are so low profile, and if that's what you're going for, right? If you're going to minimize the microphone's presence, if that's a big deal for whatever your reasoning might be, this will help you do that. You can set it and forget it with headphone mics and head-worn mics because in a guest situation, instead of them moving the mic all the way around and being off mic and dropping the mic, it's not going anywhere. You could put this on your guest and they could turn their head and they could have bad mic technique. There's no such thing as bad mic technique here because the microphone, once you place it, right, and once you get it close to where you need it to be, it's not going anywhere. So it's great for guests. It's great for people who just have flat out bad mic technique. Put a headset on them. It's easy. This HSP2 comes with replaceable parts, which is important. Look, I said it was durable before, and it's widely used across the broadcast industry. But just know that in case you step on it, in case you sit on it, in case it gets smashed in somehow, some way, these parts are replaceable. So you don't have to get a whole new headset, head-worn microphone you can get replaceable parts. And then I also have to say the cable length, where is the cable even on this? It's behind me somewhere, but it's 1.6 meters, which is tremendous because it's not a super long cable, right? You're typically going to be plugging this into a wireless system, right? Or having a long enough leash on your XLR cable that you want to have that tension somewhere else. But in terms of this, you want this to connect to wherever it is in a short distance. You don't want to have a 5-foot cable off these Headworn mics because it's going to be longer than the human. You basically want it to come to somebody's belt area for a belt pack, a mic pack, whatever. So the 1.6 meter cable length, yeah, about 4.5 feet. That is a perfect total amount. No longer than that. You would not want any longer than that. The frequency response on this mic, again, I actually like it. Pretty flat, to be honest with you. My only criticism is the self-noise of this mic. I wish it were a little less hissy in terms of having to use so much gain because it's, it needs it, but at the same time, not have it make that self-noise. Has a little presence boost above 10,000. Does the speech areas quite well. There's no real cuts at all between 1,000 and 500. Just that gradual push all the way up to the top end. So honestly, I actually do like the way this microphone sounds for how small it is. Usually the bigger the capsule, the bigger the diaphragm, the better the sound it captures and replicates. In this case, it's not so bad. Now, you've been hearing all of this fully processed. I'm running this microphone through an EQ, a preamp, the SSL 4000E on my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X. It's also going through a Teletronics LA2A compressor. So this is, touched up audio. I want to do it justice here. I want you to hear this microphone and this Headworn mic completely unprocessed. So we'll switch to that. You can evaluate it, and then we'll close things out. Okay, here's the dry sample, which actually may not sound entirely different. I didn't do a ton with the EQ in processing or even compression, but I will say the one absence here that I'm noticing instantly is the downward expansion that I was using in processed to cut down on that self-noise, because let me be quiet and listening closely here. I hear self-noise. I hear a hiss in the background. But again, this may not matter for you depending on the environment, how you're using this, and the value of the Headworn mic might eclipse the little bit of self-noise that this mic makes. Anyway, I just wanted you to get a sample of what this sounds like if you don't use any processing with the microphone. It does require somewhere in the region of 55 plus dB of gain. Obviously, you want the cleanest gain possible to power this microphone. Okay, that has been the dry sample. Let's go back to processed. In closing, I have to tell you this microphone does not come cheap, but it does come at a top quality. If you want something that is elite in capturing your voice and also having a low profile, if you're not keen on wearing a lavalier mic, which, look, honestly, that would be the other alternative here. This is not much different than a lavalier mic other than its positioning on your body, how it's worn over the ears. And again, I would also remind you that any good broadcaster, especially if you're a one-person operation, you are going to want to be hearing your audio in return. You're going to want to be wearing some in-ear monitors, maybe even a headset, but then you're putting more on your head, right? You're trying to minimize what people see on camera. That's the whole deal of a Headworn mic situation. I mean, I can't see somebody podcasting with this. What's the difference? They're not seeing you. But on camera, if this is your thing and this is how you want to present, and you want a minimalist approach here in terms of the microphone and what's seen, then yeah, the HSP2 is perfect for you. I like the lightweight factor, I like the minimalist look on camera, and I also, most importantly, generally like the way this thing sounds, again, minus that self-noise. So those are the HSP2s. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments section below. Thumbs up on it if it provided you some value. And by the way, subscribe to this channel. I've got lots more great stuff coming out in the very near future.